Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
О, и снова мы тут. Знаешь, было не очень вежливо с твоей стороны пропадать на полгода. Мы вообще-то успели соскучиться.
Это что еще за хрень?
Ты с ним давай поаккуратней. Он обидеться может. Это Тишка, артефакт Земли.
Земли?
С нее родимый. Прикупить хочешь?
А он танцевать умеет?
Разве что стихи не читает. А так что, забавный, верный как пес. Гостям нравится.
Гостям нравится, когда ты им наливаешь за счет бара.
Ты просто старый, угрюмый и во всем видишь корысть.
Это все, что тебе привезли с земли?
Там по мелочи. Комиксы, яблоко, воздушного змея и дохлую крысу на веревочке. Но могу предложить только комиксы. Может быть, чаю?
Крепкого.
Кто бы сомневался.
Ну давай, выкладывай. Я вижу, как тебя распирает от новостей.
Полагаю, для тебя это не новость.
Ну тогда хоть анекдот расскажи. И упаси тебя Бог, если он будет про медведя и редимер.
Есть загадка. Свежак. Угадаешь, чай бесплатно.
Ну выкладывай.
Красная головка находит дырку лоб.
Я тебя ненавижу. Ну хоть пол у тебя в баре без щелей. И то радость.
Бесплатный чай.
По дыркам ловко лазит только стратка. Так что подлей водички и лимончика дай. Только не этой зеленой жижи.
Все для любимого гостя. Не, но вообще правда поражен. Знаешь, Каспер разыгрывает Беслу, и ты обходишь огромного слона в комнате. У тебя и навыки соответствующие, и опыт есть, и руки откуда надо растут. Ты мог бы поучаствовать. Тебе когда-нибудь доводилось управлять тяжелым заградителем?
Нет. Только кормой твоей мамки.
Ха-ха-ха. Не удивил, это и я делал. Помнишь Рагнарёк пандемиков? Это легенда в местных барах, не только в моем. Расстрел Кипстара РМЦ. Скажешь, что тебе тоже нечем похвастаться. Ты сражался за Деклайм, а не Бейджервар. Поднимал ДС, рубился за Скурс. Я не про то, как ты обнес их корпоративный ангар.
Ладно, завали уже.
Знаешь, Грунт претендует на корабль. Это будет не первый в его коллекции.
Ну, я его поздравляю с этим.
Да нет, я просто понять не могу. Он же по факту еще совсем мальчишка.
Этот мальчишка взял несколько турниров.
А ты будто бы нет.
Я не знаю, что у тебя было с твоей мамкой, но яйца ты лежишь отменно.
Тебе за бесплатно. А еще тут слушок прошел, что ты отвоевал у курдынцев пол-региона отрядом в 20 человек. Это крана?
Пойду по дыркам пошарюсь.
К чаю полагается сушки.
Не голоден?
Now, when I'm writing this text, I cannot even recall the beginning of the story. Obviously, it should start from something like, my friend whose name was, insert name, linked me a post on official forum. The problem is that, at this point I cannot even remember who was the guy that did that. In a short time, things has become very twisted and much more complicated than I could expect. So, let's start from this. My name is Juan Mares. and I'm the CEO of a small PvP corporation called Warrior Stripe. This corporation gave me my first insights about how do you do PvP in EVE Online more than a decade ago. My strongest intention is to spread the word about how do you play this game smart. That's what Warrior Stripe do under my command. At least I hope so. Another thing I should mention here, I am not an AFT or PIFA warrior. Numbers are important, no doubt. At the same time, I train another way of understanding the game. In my opinion, every ship fit or fleet composition should be tested in battle. I prefer to rely on my intuition instead of dry calculation. So don't expect too much of typical theory crafting. Nevertheless, I will explain all my decisions and feat changes through video. This is the point where explanation starts. Contest rules give us an opportunity to use any of HICs or interdictors. I personally prefer cruiser-sized ships, cause that platform gives more flexibility both in fitting and game content. Why not use every HIC for a special role? Typically, you can see HICs camping low-sec or null-sec gates, so this is clearly what I didn't want to use them for. Let's see ships bonuses and attributes as I did when I started to plan this video. All the HICs are now linked into in-game chat, and the first one I wanted to talk about is Broadsword. It has good bonus to damage, turret fall off and rate of fire. Probably the best choice for solo. So it looked to me like, okay, this is the ship most participants will try. I should do something weird with it and have fun. That's what I did. Behold, Anti-Gank Alpha Broadsword. So let's run through its fit a little bit. It has max size RT for best alpha, disruption field generator with a script to tackle loot ships, couple Phobos for fast lock, tracking computer for optimal mainly, LSE and multispectrum hardener for tank, 3 damage modes in 1 rig for maximum alpha. Also I use a domination EMPM, 50 MN for easy maneuvering of course, and then reactor control and medium ancillary current rotor to make it fit. Here's the pod that I was using to maximize DPS and application of this broadsword. And also I will use Pyrolancea and Aquafa. At first I was about to use this one against mission runners in NPC space where I live, but this poor ganker made me to change my plans. It was pretty clear to me that I can just insta-pop any of these small frigates. But what about typical ganker catalyst? Let's see. This is what I have found traveling across HIC. This is the ganker setup. It has catalyst and a bastard for looter and howler. Everything happens in a split second. As soon as I see a message from Concord, I just pop the catalyst in one shot and then try to catch the howler. My safety is set to yellow, which prevents my foolish attack on this bastard. This is when safety mechanic actually has a good use. Unfortunately, plain and simple old school HIC ganking isn't so easy these days. But I managed to test my Broad a few times on the proper targets and it worked just fine. Although, as I have found out, even this paper tanked ship can manage new Brotorix and his minor friend. I came to Picor solar system to hunt down some of safety guys, and then I saw this sweet couple of a Torix and his minor friend in a retriever entering low sec. And as expected, they just went to the belt and started mining. Killing innocent new bros is not what I like. But still, until you see a fit in a kill mail, you never know. This broadsword does not fit this purpose, and as you may see, it is already starving on cap. And the reason is a warp disruptions field generator. I didn't expect this self-Newton effect to be so dramatically high on a projectile turret type ship. However, having this type of module has its advantages. Even Venture, with its built-in warp stabilizers, has no chance to escape being tackled by this scripted warp disruption field generator. All the ships at the last two footages SRP'd and all advices about proper fitting are given. This is pretty much it. All I have on the Broadsword today. Let's just see how this anti-ganker plot ended up form a weird and funny broadsword. Another HIC that looks to me as a good choice for solo is Onyx. Some people even use it as a small gang support ship. Let's take a look at its bonuses. It has bonus to rapid, light, heavy and assault missile launcher rate of fire, and also bonuses to light, heavy and assault missile damage plus range. Another good thing is that damage and range bonuses are not bound by launcher type. That means that you can go for light missile launchers and still have better DPS and range. This will save us a lot of CPU. As you probably know, Caldera ships usually has a lot of CPU. As soon as we have a frigate missile launchers, we can now use all the CPU we managed to save to feed double ASB for cheap but massive tank. So this is gonna be another weird craft for me, and it is called Anti-Camp Onyx. Let's take a look at its fit real quick. So as I said before, it has 5 frigate-sized missile launchers, disruption field generator, some buffer, multi-spectrum shield hardener, double X-large ASB, 50 MN of course, then a long web, compact damage control for even more tank, double ballistic control, plus coprocessor, and double ACR rig to make this whole thing fit the hull. I don't have any special pod for this one, but a blue peel booster and a pyrrolent Seiya is what I'm gonna use for this. My original plan was to land my bird right into a gate camp and kill as much frigates and destroyers as I can before I die. New Eden is a cold and harsh place, and things hardly ever go 100% as planned in this galaxy. This is the case. This is what happened when my lonely Onyx jumped into a system. I expected campers to take the fight or warp away as a worst case scenario, but what they did was some kind of maximum get the hell out of here procedure. And this is why. After the fight I had a small conversation with the campers FC. In this small dialogue he says that it was me who camped them. Looks like there was a bubble on the gate and the Onyx comes after us, he says. And here is another issue that comes to the side. HICs are all scary as hell. Think of it from other side, you almost never expect single HIC. If you see one in grid, this usually means that at least 10 more man gang will follow in a short time. Onyx is still too slow to chase ships like frigates and destroyers, so the only prey of this long chase was this single poor pod that I managed to catch into a bubble. Of course, I didn't evade the fight with these guys, but this wasn't the fight I wanted to give. There is something in common between me and these campers, and this is the NPC space where we all live. When I saw this Senium Suti checking the WY local to see if I was here or not, it was pretty obvious that they are waiting for me just right behind the gate. So I decided to undock and give this fight. Whatever they got. So let's just see how it happened. There will be some mistakes, but remember, this is all a theory crafting process via an experience. This is the setup they reshipped to kill me. Few Navy cruisers, Vagabond and a Saber. So there is only one potential target for me to try to get rid of, and this is the Saber. But Saber is sitting at 0 on the gate, so I decide to try split this gang a little bit, hoping that there is gonna be a little bit more of a small stuff incoming. I'm crushing the gate again, trying to get a good opportunity to engage, and then I see this Kikimora that I probably can't kill. So I decide to engage at this point. I consume Pyrolancer, approach the gate another time, make my tank running, and it looks like that I can actually hold this DPS until my ASBs will run out. But this is where I make my first mistake. This Kikimora was just yellow boxing me, and this means that he can just make it to the gate and jump out. And another mistake that I made here is the ammo titan. Oh wait, is this? Yeah, it looks like I did not treat ship bonuses properly. Damage bonus only applied to kinetic type of missiles, and I was shooting thermal. So this one came to 100% fail, which means that I had to give this birdie one more try. And of course when I say one, this means a couple, cause I died to this pack of Vexors first. This type of tank can actually absorb a lot of DPS, especially when you're able to reload your ASBs. But anyways, even this run wasn't satisfying enough, cause I wanted to prove that my concept can serve its purpose, which is tank a lot of DPS and kill the small stuff. To me it looks like the checkbox point number 1 is done. But really, we gotta kill something finally. Another thing we have to keep in mind all the time that in this HICs we're scary as hell, and we'd better use it as our advantage and attack the enemy while it is confused and don't know what to expect. Some of the following ship concepts I was developing in a parallel manner, but these two footages follow one another chronically. I had to reship to a new Onyx almost instantly, because I've received this intel on the Vedmak fleet. I just warp into a grid like I put my aggregate on the table, just smack, here it is. I used Tether to get as close as possible to the target, which is this poor hound. Having 250 plus of DPS, I can kill it easy peasy, which means that the plan can actually work. Vedmaks are confused, they're not sure what to do. I could warp out, but I decide to play even more aggressively and take some more of their tackle with me into Valhalla. Another lesson that I taught is that using Warp Disruption Field Generator as an alternative to usual Warp Disruptor and Scrambler has huge disadvantage of self-muting. And this is the case. This is not directly connected with decisions that you will see further in this video, but that is the thing that I was keeping in mind all the time. Now, let's just see how this fight ends. And after that, I want to invite you to the second chapter of this video that is full of struggle and overcoming. I still have a little bit of a fun stuff in stack, but this is not what the second chapter is all about. At this point, I can say that we have Broadsword and Onyx covered. Theory crafting, testing and recording didn't take long, and I've even had fun with the Broadsword at least. Let's move on to more serious stuff. We still have two HIC type armor platforms to talk about, which are Phobos and Devoter. Let's check ship's bonuses. Devoter has bonuses to medium laser weapon damage, optimal range and activation cost. Phobos has bonuses to medium blaster and railgun tracking speed, rate of fire, and optimal range. Both of these platforms has decent amount of high and low slots for weapons and armor tank. Phobos has 4 mid slots, Devoter has 3, plus massive amount of power grade. No other HIC has so much of PG. This is the concept I came up with at the beginning of this long way. Why not assemble a ESS specialized Devoter, fit with web only, with oversized AB and large cup battery, and use it in a home space to fight incoming hostile fleets and solo pilots inside the ESS bubble. Original Phobos fit concept supposed to be as close as possible to typical solo Vedmak fits, with 100 MN or dual prop, railguns for middle range up to 30 km optimal, and be used for solo roaming by filaments, wormholes, and so on. But again, blue boarding has nothing to do with the harsh reality of New Eden. This caused some kind of evolution of fits, and this is the way I want to show it to you right now. And I will make only overall minimum commentary to make this chapter 2 theory crafting part shorter. Every time I will win or lose in the footages of a fights that will follow, I will open my fit or loss so you know which one of these fits I am using. This is where real struggle begins. An issue of balancing speed, tank and DPS came to the foreground very fast. HIC hulls has very low basic velocity number comparing to most popular solo ships. As a snake and a scalping implant set farmer, I could provide cheap implants for myself, but I didn't want to go for high grade, cause even if you get those directly from the LP store, they're still expensive. This is how the Phobos Fit evolution looked like. I went from dual prop and railguns to 100 MN plus blasters, and even further to 500 MN. But I might say that all of those failed. But this one is the guy that did all the job, really. Who is the best Galantista of Brawler in EVE Online? If you ask me, I'd say Guades. So this is classic Guades Deimos fit applied to Phobos. And as soon as we don't have a roll bonus that boosts our armor repair rate, we will try to replace that with mid-grade Asclepian set plus RP903. Also, we have a built-in bonus to all armor resistances. That's why I prefer reactive armor hardener here instead of multispectrum membrane. We have standard tech to armor, a lot of void, some null, and also an exile and a pyrolanceia are the boosters we're gonna be using. Few words about Devoter. Devoter evolution wasn't so hard and painful. The first Devoter fit, as I said before, was ESS specialized for home use. And here it is. Devoter has huge advantage of having a drone bay, which is very corrupting when we're talking about the roaming ship, cause single pack of Hornets ECM increases its survivability. So I had to make a variation of a Devoter that I could use for roamings. Both of these fits has no warp disruption field generator at all. My earlier Phobos concepts were running on a mid-grade snake, and I've even lost one. So here is the reserve that I have in Serpentis Prime. So let's now just sit back, relax, and see how it looks like when adventures happen.
Who made up the rules that we follow? Who's the chosen fool that we follow? I'm betting my life that it all rewinds and races. need of aid that will save me? Do I have the right to receive God's eternal graces? Who made up the rules that we follow?
Here's a little song I wrote. My mama said not for no, don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. I'm trying to worry you make it down. Don't worry. Be happy.
Light as a feather when I'm floating through, reading through the daily news, measuring the hurt within the golden rule. Centimeters of ether, I'm heating the speaker. Motivational teacher with words that burn people. Singing the headlines, line with discord. It's either genocide or the planet in uproar. Never good. The rules in paradise are never nice. The best laid plans of mice and men are never right. I'm just a vagabond with flowers for Algernon, an average Joe who knows what the fuck is going on. It's the hope of my thoughts that I travel upon. Fly like an arrow of God until I'm gone. So drifting away like a feather in air, letting my words take me away from the hurt and despair. So I'm keeping it vertical, forever elevator, riding the escalator to the something that is greater. So I'm drifting away like a feather in air, letting my soul take me away from the hurt and despair. So I'm keeping it vertical, forever elevator, riding the escalator to the something that is greater.
Taking chances, word tap dancing with wolves in an ice arena out there deep in the woods of Arizona. The sun be out, life's ironic, ain't it? Trying to be Dali when I write surreal life up painted vivid. Habitat crazy insane, watching propaganda 6 o'clock, news and insane. Cultures clash, all black folk and white trash. They rebel in the cyberspace and might crash. Dash to millennium, a million miles are running at the speed of now, bound no return gunning. Rambo style gun, hold child gunning. Ambo plow 2 times loud, stunning. Stunning when they hit ya, lift you off the earth like, hey yo, take you right back to earth. And niggas wonder why, they might wonder why this shit might happen, but it does. It go
drifting away like a feather in air, letting my words take me away from the hurt and despair. So I'm keeping it vertical, forever elevator, riding the escalator to the something that is greater. So I'm drifting away like a feather in air, letting my soul take me away from the hurt and despair. So I'm keeping it vertical, forever elevator, riding the escalator to the something that is greater. Treat you better than me, cause that's the heavenly key to unlock the inner strength. What my essence will be, it's the knowledge of self, understanding of the things around me that becomes the wisdom that I need. Living this life to the best of my ability, channeling energy to my thoughts, 18th century. Remember me, because my prose remain gold. I got the gift of gab like them pimps and cables. It never ends, I keep it rolling like a cipher. The first caveman bringing fire, innovating it higher to plasma states. I raise the stakes, it's double or nothing in this vacuum of space. I will survive divine to time to cry. Fuck a hole to hide, I'm alive with pride. And I drove the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Singing this will be the day that I die.
when you driving home late at night, really questioning every god, religion, Kanye bitches. Maybe this is the entrance before you get to the river of heaven, but for the heathen, no reason for you to like me. Maybe this your wife, you just wanting a clean divorce. The baby ain't really yours, it's really for baby's teeth and the chicken wings under season. Y'all really thought a bitch couldn't rap, huh? Maybe this your answer for that. A crack era, the Reagan administration that niggas are still scared of. No, actually, this is for me. This one for TT at the wake, serving the mac and the cheese. This one a small apology for all the calls that I screamed. Mr. Money Man, Mr. Everyday, he got me. Mr. Wiping me down, Mr. Me Love, Mr. Miyagi. Miscellaneous, Mr. Molly inside my sake. Incredible emptiness in my body. Heaven's only 4 feet tall, I set my ringer to it. Fuck your rapper homie, now his ass is making better music. My pussy teacher 9th grade English. My pussy wrote a thesis on colonialism and conversation with a marginal system in love with Jesus. And y'all still thought a bitch couldn't rap, huh? Maybe this your answer for that. Good pussy, I know niggas only talk about money and good pussy.
Never had a wasted mind, had the time. Erect and rhyme, my corns, gifted lines. The flows I knows puts the papers in pockets. Swings the things reserved in my sockets. A 10 spot, I got stacks of LP wags. Corduroy slacks, loops and sales tags. On the racks, but my label is derelict. Spick and span, I slam his balls, your leg. Ill missions, but doing us ain't even simple. Stereotypes the rhymer as a criminal. Subliminal, I put a noose on the necks. The sinister signs off my rhymes and stacks.
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more. Road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Mama, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
Einmal RIP. Das Haare auf Kopf, ja, Mann.
Brooklyn.